Welcome everyone, I'm Cal Palguda, the mayor of Prescott Valley, and you're listening to Council Chat. It's one of the first times I've been here since being mayor, so it's exciting. And what we have going on right now is we're going to have Darlene Packard and Jeremiah King, and we're going to be talking about the healing fields here in Prescott Valley, so welcome.
Good morning, Mayor.
Thank you.
So being a new person here with Council Chat, and there's some new visitors here in Prescott Valley. I know the healing fields have been going around for a long time, but let's just start from the beginning and let's just break it down as if I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Well, our field was begun by former councilwoman and now District 5 Supervisor Mary Mallory.
Yes.
And she brought it in 2011, and the first field went up in 2012.
Okay. And we say the first field.
The first field consisted of 1,500 flags.
1,500
and
flags.
It was a fundraising exercise, if you will. And then the second year we had our 3,000 flags, which is the number of victims we had in 9/11.
Okay, so each flag, and the flags for those that haven't seen it, they're about 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall? 6 feet tall, and they go located right out here outside the Civic Center between the police department and the Civic Center, out on the grass. And they're basically in rows, correct?
They're in quadrants and in rows.
Okay.
And there's 4 quadrants on each side of the sidewalk, if you will.
Okay.
We have an upper field and a lower field.
And there's something unique about each flag, correct?
Each flag has a bio card, and this year we're very excited because Assistant Town Manager Ryan Judy, he redid all of our cards.
Right.
They now have pictures on them.
Yeah, so each person can go, they check out each flag, and then they can read a little bit about the person.
And the thing that I love the most is we have 343 pairs of firefighter boots,
Right.
72 pairs of police boots,
Okay.
55 pairs of military boots, and more sadly, 8 teddy bears.
Gotcha.
And each boot, each teddy bear represents that person who was taken from us way too early.
No, absolutely. And the whole point of the healing fields is so no one forgets our history. So no one, easily can be just looked past because it did happen many years ago. And nowadays, sometimes people take that for granted.
There's a whole generation that doesn't realize
Absolutely.
what this was.
No, of course. And that's what makes it so important.
Mm-hmm.
And it is truly a great site. I mean, you don't realize it. I mean, us explaining it just doesn't do it any justice at all.
It's awesome.
Start a little bit more about the process there. You get volunteers that come on.
We do, and we welcome volunteers because this is a community effort.
Absolutely.
And it takes a community to do a project of this magnitude. And if anybody wants to volunteer, they can go to healingfieldpv@gmail.com. And they can go to our Facebook page, which is Prescott Valley Healing Field of Northern Arizona.
That's usually the best. What I tell people is just go to the Facebook page.
Yes.
You can, even if you're not on Facebook, or just make an account just so you can follow certain things like this.
And on there, again, because we have all of the bio cards redone, they're now on the town website. And there is a link to that area.
From the Town of Prescott Valley website.
Yes, it's on our Facebook page, and it gives all 3,000 bios on there.
Great. We'll kind of just switch lanes a little bit. Jeremiah, you want to talk a little bit about kind of a run or a fundraiser that you have linked to this?
That's right. Yeah. So I'm the Honor Guard commander for the Central Arizona Honor Guard, which is a volunteer group of firefighters within Central Arizona Fire Medical Authority, the fire department that's here in Prescott Valley. And the Honor Guard does honor details for funerals and things like that for firefighters and police officers. And we also carry the colors for different events and do different events like that within the fire department.
Okay.
So it is a volunteer program within the fire department. And while we are supported by the fire department in a small way, we do have to raise funds in order to meet our obligation, meet our mission.
Sure.
Which is to honor the fallen and to honor the flag. And in order to do that, we do a little bit of travel. We have uniforms that we have to maintain, and we have equipment that we have to
Sure.
buy. So we supplement the support that we get from the fire department with our fundraising efforts. So the Patriot Run is in its 5th year. It's a 10K, 5K, 1 mile run. We do have a small registration fee just to kind of help us cover overhead costs.
Of course.
But the Honor Guard members go out and collect sponsors within the community in order to do the fundraising end of it. And that way, we're not asking for our participants to support us with the fundraising of the charity side.
Sure.
We're going out and doing the work ourselves. So we've organized this run that is initially intended for those two reasons. Well, one reason is for the charity, and the second reason is to bring people that maybe normally wouldn't come to the Civic Center from out of town, and then folks that already know about I should say the healing fields, not necessarily the Civic Center, to bring them into the area to
Of course.
experience, because it is an experience, the healing field.
No, absolutely.
So-
One of the good things, and you touched on that, just getting people who not normally ever come off of Highway 69 and venture into the almost the heart of Prescott Valley, and then experience the healing fields, and then from there maybe experience other parts of Prescott Valley.
That's right.
So we're talking about a 10K, 5K run. So where does it start at?
So it starts and finishes at the statue that's on Lakeshore, just above the theater on the green.
Right.
So starts and finishes there. The 5K it goes out towards the entertainment district, and the
Okay.
10K is just 2 laps because we try to minimize the impact to the drivers and everybody in Prescott Valley as far as road crossings
Sure.
and stuff like that. The 1 mile is basically there's 1 mile around the Civic Center of sidewalk. So,
Okay.
so it's basically 1 mile, so 1 loop around the Civic Center. We do have a little pathway through, as Darlene said, there's an upper field and lower field. There's a sidewalk that goes in between. We have runners running through that kind of as a finish for them. And it's just a really good experience for families. So we
Sure.
do that. So we do the 10K and the 5K start at 7 a.m. We do a blessing of the healing fields, kind of like an opening ceremony for the healing fields.
Okay.
At 9:30.
Yeah.
And then at around 10:30, we start the 1 mile for families and folks who just want to do 1 mile. And then we also have a obstacle course that resembles a physical agility test that a firefighter would have to take. So
Nice.
it's kind of fun and different for the kids. And so, and then we have emergency vehicles that kids can come and
Kind of climb
Yeah.
in, get inside,
Yeah.
hit the sirens,
That's
that
right.
type of thing.
Yep, and we're working on a couple of different things this year that we can add, but I haven't got those nailed down yet.
So we don't, maybe
we
it'll
don't-
just be a surprise.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. And also a patriotic costume contest.
Yeah, so in the past, if you, for one thing, if you wear red, white, and blue, you'll get a discount signing up.
Okay.
So we give a discount at the check-in registration, and then in the past we've done an American Pie for the winner, for whoever's most patriotic dressed that day.
Okay. That's always good. Nothing wrong with getting a little reward after you run a
Mhm.
mile or so.
Yeah, here's a warm apple pie.
Here's a warm apple pie. And you don't have to run.
No.
Right? Like people
No.
can just go and just walk and just show their
Absolutely.
support. And
Absolutely, and it's pet friendly, it's kid friendly. We are in the past we've had people ask if they could bring their pets. And it's like, sure, bring your pets. This year we're going to actually have water for them on
Okay.
the course, which would make it pet friendly.
Sure.
And we definitely want to take care of those.
Make
folks
sure
as
they're on a
well.
leash, of course. We
Yeah.
don't want any
Oh, yeah.
incidents to occur.
Crossing a couple of major roads in Prescott Valley, we want to make sure everybody's safe.
Absolutely. So we'll just kind of start back again, the dates so everyone can remember, and we'll see them on the screen as well. But September 6th is when things are going to start.
The flights go up at 7 in the morning on September 6th, and they come down September 13th, same time, 7 o'clock.
Because it's usually pretty warm. So it's kind of
Yep.
good to be out there and get it done a little earlier. And then we'll have the run on September 7th.
That's correct. Check-in registration starts at 6 a.m. and we'll be here bright and early before 6 a.m. setting everything up. But then the 10K will start at 7 a.m.
Great. And let's talk a little bit more about Tuesday, September 10th. So we're talking about the actual
Con-
event, the concert, the community concert.
Right. To be announced, the we're working on getting the college,
Okay.
but that is not completely in the
We
can
don't
yet.
have that one locked
We
in
don't
yet.
have that one locked in yet.
That's okay. And then that'll be here on
Yeah.
basically the theater on the green, basically out on the grass. If you haven't been over to it,
Right.
most people have seen it. But there's actually a stage and a good people can bring lawn chairs, sit on the grass. It doesn't really make a difference.
And then Saturday, September 7th at 6, we have a patriotic youth concert with, last year, I think they were from Blackford Middle School.
Okay. It will be Glassford Hill Middle School again?
That isn't in the can yet
Okay,
either.
that's a secret as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Wednesday, September 11th.
Ah.
Let's talk about that.
My favorite, that's my favorite. It's very, very traditional, very, I don't know, Jeremiah, what would you call it?
It is kind of hard to describe, right?
It's somber. It's an opportunity to reflect on what happened on that day. And,
Sure.
and it's surrounded by different honors, like presentation of the colors and lowering of the big flag and
Right.
pipes and drums, but also some very good speakers and
Sure.
representation of the public servants that work in the area as well.
And in the past, there's been some speakers who have actually been at 9/11,
Yeah.
right?
And this year is no different. We have retired captain from the New York City Court. She was the New York City Court officer, and she was there. She and her 7 of her people, her boss, when the incident came in, they all ran to the tower,
Gotcha.
and her partner did not make it out.
I want to say I spoke to her last year.
Yes, you did.
I met her.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's truly an amazing story. When the attacks happened, that she was right there.
And these are court officers, they're not street officers.
Correct. So, I mean, basically, it's also a true tale of everyone tried to do everything they could to help out.
You mentioned earlier about being in the heart of Prescott Valley. Our field is the heart because Prescott Valley is the most patriotic town I know anywhere. So when you say that the flags are in the heart, they are our heart.
Right?
And
No,
that's where our
that is
heart
a good way of putting it there. And it is huge. And I talk about that with people, how Prescott Valley, we're starting to recognize that true part of ourselves.
Our heart, yeah.
And one of the things with the Army, Navy, the recruiting offices have now relocated to
Right.
Harkins, and that's a true testament there as well. It's
Right.
it says a lot more about what we have going on.
Another part is the blessing of the field where we have the setting of the 3 booths, and they recognize the fire, police,
and the military.
military.
That
Okay.
died that day. So it was basically the honor guard sets the last 3 boots as a tribute to the fallen
Set them
at the flags
at the flags that they belong to,
They belong to. Yeah.
and that says a lot,
Yeah.
And then it says I can't say enough. People just need to come out and experience this.
We do. We need a revival of our heart,
Mhm.
our patriotism, and we need to remember.
Absolutely. Remember, just to bring us back to just who we are.
For one day, sadly, for one day, that day, we were all Americans.
No, and you hear about where were you when you first learned about it, and truly, everyone can remember and
Where
put
they were.
themselves. I mean, just recently was the 50-year anniversary for landing on the moon, and people were talking about that on television about where they were and sitting with their families or whatever it was. And this is really no different, and it's important.
It is.
And one of the other things we don't really talk much about is those first responders that went there and then have unfortunately gotten cancer or some other,
There's been, 200 and
So-
change of officers?
Yeah, it's increasing every day, at least every week.
Yeah.
We have a firefighter die from cancer, and then and many of them are dying from cancer from 9/11.
from
We
the
had 343 that died on the day of the event,
Right.
but the numbers are growing for the people that served in the hole.
which
digging
are
it
also
all out.
victims of it.
They're also
Without those
victims.
attacks happening,
Yeah.
they would never have been down there. They never would have been exposed.
Yeah,
to the-
those guys volunteered, and people from around the country volunteered to serve and
Exactly.
dig that out.
No, truly, and you nailed it. Where there would be someone from maybe Iowa, a fire department from Iowa, went down there and they helped out, and you don't put that link of, oh, he or she died from something from 9/11, but in fact, it truly did happen.
Patty was telling me that she was there, and she is experiencing effect from breathing in the
Sure.
dust.
No, it's only now that we think about it, it's just natural that was occurring, and we just didn't realize it at the time. Everyone's so tied up in actually trying to help out and make a difference.
Well, this year, I swap every year, and this year it is the police turn to be the MC, and our fire, I think it'll be either Training Chief Fatima or Chief Freitag, will close the program. So they take turns because they represent fire.
For both.
For
as
both,
well.
yeah.
And that's, I believe, yes, Training Chief Fatima was there last year, and he basically ran the show,
Yep.
kind of explained, emceed it, kind of discussed how things went and stuff. So it's kind of just only fitting that you switch back and forth. So that's exciting. People should expect to show up if they want to come here on September 11th, 6 p.m. it starts. How long does the event last, or how long does the?
An hour.
About an hour. And then they are more than welcome to mingle around, because there's lights that are set up around, and the lights are on all night, so people can kind of just mull about and take in the experience.
I asked them to be there at 5:30.
Okay, so if people are going to want to come and like watch the event,
Be there at 5:30.
don't
Sit
want
a
to miss
chair,
anything.
right.
Yeah, and then they bring a chair if they want. They'll,
Absolutely.
yeah, because there's not chairs for people. It's just if they want to bring like a camping chair or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've had some chairs set up in the past, but I think they went away from that.
Just to be safe, someone should bring a chair.
Yes.
Bring lawn chairs, yeah.
Bring a lawn
Something to
chair,
sit on.
something to sit on, just to be able to enjoy it. Kids bring their families,
Absolutely.
them be able to recognize and see what's going on.
Last year, we had a gentleman, retired firefighter, his name is Bill Marshall. I'm sorry, Bill, if you're watching this. But he showed up in full fire gear, which weighs about
Oh.
70 pounds with
Sure.
everything. And it was hot that
Right.
day. And he walked around the area and carrying the flag, and the kids were running up to him and talking to
Oh,
him.
interesting.
But he'll be here this year again.
Well, that's excellent. And one of the great thing about this is it truly brings people from all around to come here. It's not just Prescott Valley residents or Prescott residents. It's from down the valley. And I remember talking to someone a few months after last year's event, and they were from Tucson, and they had come up and they hadn't heard anything about it, and then they were like, "Hey, we want to go see that," and they had nothing but amazing things to say about it. So I think as time goes on, that reputation kind of gets out there, and it's just so huge.
We do our best to get the word out, but even so,
So we actually are going to have a Patriot Week.
yeah.
So that's what's starting. That's what it's kind of called.
You will issue a proclamation on August
Yes.
7th?
7th,
Yeah.
I believe it is.
Yeah,
The first council meeting in August, Thursday.
right. And so that proclamation will be, because you're gone in closer to it.
Right.
So you'll proclaim that week, and then the week starts on September 6th at 7 a.m.
Great. And that's important too. So we want people to recognize that it's just not a day, it's not a week,
week.
it's not a month. It's going to be something that we're going to try to remember, and we try to, because there's so much that goes into it.
And we encourage teachers and parents to bring their kids out and let the kids walk through the field, read the bio cards, and understand that these people did nothing more than get up to go to work, go on vacation,
Absolutely.
go to coffee,
Right.
and they never made it home.
And there's truly heartbreaking little stories
There
in such a little small card. If you stop and just read them, I mean, it really tugs at your emotions, because
Families were lost, brothers were lost, fathers, uncles. In one family, they were lost.
right. No, and it's truly, you don't recognize the magnitude of it. And then the flags, they do it justice where you can actually see and you can recognize, hey, all these flags represent a person.
And if you want a real awakening if you kind of get down on your knees and you look underneath the flag, and you'll see the sea of boots. And those were the people who,
Oh, the height.
the
Okay,
height, you
yes.
can look underneath the flags and you can see the boots. And those are the people who laid down their lives
Yeah.
for others.
Just truly, I mean, it's just truly amazing.
It is.
And it says a lot. And that's what we just got to encourage everyone. If you haven't, come on out to it. And if you have, invite your friends and neighbors and just make a day of it.
Yep.
And just kind of come out, and you'll see just people walking through the flags, and it's a very sombering time.
There are people that are from that area that somehow or another they have found their way, they've moved here, and it's very emotional for them, but it's also healing.
Right. No, definitely. And it's just, I mean, you can only say so much about it. And if people have to recognize that we need to get some support with you folks and donations, you guys accept donations.
Yes, we do.
How can people donate?
Well, we have a donation jar at the field.
Okay.
If somebody wants to donate ahead of time, just call me and I will pick up your donation.
Sure.
My number is 928-848-0626. This year, our flags are 8 years old. And they're up 24 hours a day for a week.
Yeah, no,
For
absolutely.
8 years, and they are taking a beating. So
Sure.
this year, we will have to focus on replacing our flags.
Because you also have, during like daytime hours, you have volunteers that sit at a table, right? So
do.
let's talk about that.
Okay, if you would like to sit at the info booth, you can go to healingfieldpv.youcanbookme.
You can book me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're 1 hour shifts, and it just entails sitting there answering questions. If you've never done it before, we will tell you the answers, the parameters.
Sure.
And that too is very heartwarming and fulfilling. You will meet people from all over and hear some very heartwarming stories.
Oh, I bet. So that's important. So if you just have a few minutes, or a couple hours out of your day,
An
you just want
hour,
to just come and
two,
sit. You're not going to be hung out to dry. You're going to be with someone that's maybe
Yeah.
experienced out there and kind of get to kind of show you the ropes, and maybe start something that you do every year now and help out, because there'll be a map. You have a little map up.
We do. Ryan has redone our field maps,
Okay.
so they'll hopefully make a little more sense. And
Sure. So describe that a little bit, like the maps. Like what's the...
they're, Jeremiah, I'm going to let you take that one.
Yeah, the maps are a depiction of where everybody is on the field. When I say
Okay.
everybody, the flags, right?
Sure.
So, those are a representation of people, so they reflect where specific people are on the field. So if somebody came up and they said, "I knew somebody that died in 9/11," they could go find that person's
They
flag.
find them. They find a row. They
Right.
go down.
And the
Perfect.
map is just a picture of the fields, and it says, this is the number, this is the person you're looking for, they're this number, go ahead. Every row it has a number and a letter, and it's all set up in a grid so that they can find it real easily.
And they'll be in true alphabetical order as we read.
Awesome. And it says a lot too. You just got to think about the magnitude of this. There's 3,000 flags with each flag representing a person, and it's not just putting up flags out. There's something to this.
This is truly a labor of love by our Healing Field team, and it's over when the field comes down, but we will start again with our wrap-up meeting, and then January we start again, and
So it's like a perpetual cycle
It
where
is.
basically you are, as soon as it's done, you get a couple months off, and then you're starting back up on trying
That's
to.
right.
And that says a lot about what this event is. It's not something that you decided to put together last week. This is something that it takes some planning.
it does.
That's correct.
So that's important. So let's just recap with how people can get a hold of you. We'll start with Facebook. Where on Facebook can they find?
Prescott Valley, Healing Field, Northern Arizona.
Okay.
And the Patriot Run is at Patriot Run 2019. You can go on our Facebook page, Patriot Run 2019. You can pretty much connect to us in every way there. Send us a message.
Sure.
We do have a website, patriotrunpv.com, which tells about the Honor Guard and everything that the Patriot Run is about. And you can sign up at both of those places, both on Facebook at Patriot Run 2019 and then at our website, patriotrunpv.com.
Okay, so basically, those that are familiar with Facebook, for the most part, know they just go into the search bar and then just type in
And you
that
can find us
information.
on PV Patriot Week as well.
PV Patriot Week as well. And then also you have a register at www.raceentry.com.
Yep, there's another way to do that.
Let's talk about that.
So the registration, like I said, there's a link on our Facebook page. There's
Sure.
a link on our website, but you can go directly to www.raceentry.com. But then you have to search Patriot Run 2019.
You got to find it in that. It's
Right.
races all throughout the country. or
Exactly,
whatever.
correct.
Okay.
And the entry fees are reasonable because we do want people
Sure.
to come and we want people to come out. So, and there's also a virtual run this year.
Okay.
That maybe we know somebody that might want to do that, and so that could be fun. We haven't done a virtual run in the past.
And
so-
basically, a virtual run is someone that they can't be present here, so maybe they can still want to contribute and they still want to give their part. And
they can run at home,
Yeah.
and then they just put a picture up on social media with their time and how
Great.
far they ran, and just say I ran, and tag
Perfect.
the Patriot Run 2019, and we send you a T-shirt.
all right, guys, we're running out of time, so I just want to thank you
Thank
for
you,
coming
Dan.
here.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and hopefully everyone, if this hasn't inspired you to show up on 9/11 or at least during Patriot Week, I don't know what will. So please, whatever you can, go out to Facebook, go online. Hope to see you out there first, second week of September. Have a great day.